Gypsy Rose Blanchard is a narcissist that's trying to discourage the Menendez brothers. Get ready with me while I explain how. Apparently, TMZ reached out to Gypsy Rose Blanchard yesterday after the press conference for the Menendez brothers with the district attorney. Now, we all know the district attorney is going to go to court today, and he's trying to get them a sentence reduction from life with parole, without parole, to life with parole. Well, Gypsy Rose Blanchard said that the advice that she has is that the public will build them up as quick as they will tear them down. And here is the news article down below. Now, while I understand a lot of people are going to share these same sentiments, and they're going to kind of say, well, Gypsy's right because look at what she's been through. Those are people that really don't know Gypsy Rose's case. Gypsy Rose has a chromosome disorder. Now, it's called Q121.1. Now, this is the chromosome disorder that Gypsy Rose has. This is the poster child for it, and right next to the poster child is Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Now, you can't tell me that you don't think that they're twinsies. You all can look this up yourself, but the main thing that is important to note about this chromosome disorder is all of the things that her mom said that she had, excluding cancer, is a part of this chromosome disorder. Her mom used her issues and embellished them for financial gain, which is malingering. Gypsy Rose Blanchard also used a man that had autism or has autism with a low IQ, mental health issues, and he was collecting disability at the time of her mom's unaliving. He believed that he was helping her and protecting her when really she was just using him, and she really was going to leave him and be with another man. And he thought he was protecting her, and that's why her mom was unalived. In spite of that, Gypsy Rose's biggest accomplishment in prison is getting her GED, and it took her 5 years to do so. One of the most visible differences to me about Gypsy Rose Blanchard and the Menendez brothers is the fact that the Menendez brothers aren't saying we're going to be advocates when we get out. They are advocating right now while they're in prison, and they've been advocating regardless of the fact that they knew or really believed that they had a bigger possibility of never getting out of prison. Meanwhile, Gypsy Rose only served 8 years in prison, and she has not done any prison reform. She has not done any advocacy, and anything that she has done to speak on abuse or anything like that has been solely for money. And the reality is Gypsy Rose wasn't really abused. She was very loved, and her mom did everything to take care of her. And yes, her mom was a con artist, but was she a bad mom? I don't believe so. Now, I'm pretty sure one would ask, Nina, what was the deciding factor for you for not trusting Gypsy Rose and realizing she really wasn't in it for the right reasons? And this was a changing moment for me. And this is what I want you guys to really pay attention to.
I don't associate myself as a murderer because if you think about it, yes, I had a part to play in it. I asked Nick for help. And how that conversation started was, he was saying that he would protect me from anyone. I said anyone. He said yes. I said even my mother. He said yes. And then the plan kind of formed from there. But he's the one that did the actual kill, not me. I can't kill anyone. That's why he's in trouble to begin with, because he's the one that did it. So when they say I'm a murderer, I don't identify as.
Well, you heard it straight from the horse's mouth. She said she does not identify as a unaliver. Now, the interesting part about it, and I want you guys to really take this into account and ask yourself this question. If Gypsy Rose Blanchard was not in the picture, would Dee Dee Blanchard still be alive today? And that answer is yes, because she plotted, planned, and even showed him how to unalive her mother and tried to deny that she had any doings with it. And he's spending life in prison, being a disabled man that was collecting a disability at the time with a low IQ, autism, and mental health issues. Meanwhile, she's out here gallivanting. Now, the differences between her and the Menendez brothers are, or a few of them are, the Menendez brothers did the crime themselves. They confessed to it. They admitted to it. They said, we did do the crime. We should be in prison for life. And they have gotten multiple college degrees while they have been in prison. They have set up groups to help with trauma and abuse victims. They have also worked with the elderly and the disabled, which to me that says they have a servant's heart. And having a servant's heart means you are caring, you are compassionate, you are kind. And that speaks to the volumes about the people or the persons they have become today. Both the Menendez brothers have been married for quite some time, and they have had stable relationships. And I actually heard that one of the Menendez brothers actually adopted his wife's daughter. So that right there should really kind of show you who he is as a person, the stability of this relationship, and the plans for a future or constantly being in their lives. Whereas Gypsy Rose used Ryan Anderson to get out of prison because he looked good on paper. He's a teacher. He has his own place. He is stable. He has a very reputable job. He teaches kids with special needs. How could a judge or a parole board say, oh no, to Ryan Anderson? It really kind of sounds like she's coming out to the right hands. Now she leaves her husband in under 5 months and gets with her ex-boyfriend from the beginning. Now I have heard, and I have some pretty damning proof, that she has actually been speaking to him before she came out of prison, and this was pretty much all a setup. Now, not only did she come out of prison and leave her husband and cheat on him, she also got pregnant by her side dude. Now, her crime was also created on the internet. Well, she started it, she plotted it on the internet, and she has internet access and she's been trolling people ever since. I think that should really tell you who you're dealing with. Now, she has also done so much and created these monsters to defend her online. And yes, I did say monsters. Whoever has a problem with it, take it up with your monster master. The Menendez brothers have not gotten out of prison yet, and we don't even really know for sure 100% if they're getting out, because really a lot of this is going to have to do with the judge and what the judge feels, and we'll have to see. But if they do get out, I think it's going to be relatively fast that it's going to happen if it's approved. I don't believe we're going to see the same behavior because, like I said, they have been doing all of what they said they would do when they get out already. So they're not waiting for it. And I'm a firm believer in actions speak far louder than words. And I feel as though their actions have shown us that they are going to do good things. Now, we know it's not 100%, and we do know that we need to, keep an eye out and see what happens. But I really don't believe they're going to reoffend or do anything, jeopardize themselves or compromise their freedom. For them to be able to maintain a marriage for these many years, I think it really speaks volumes about them. Now, I know a lot of people marry prisoners and, they stay together or whatever, but it seems as though, they have been very great examples of what inmates should be and what redemption should look like. I'm excited to see what they do when they get out. I'm speaking it into existence for them. I'm not going to say if, let's say when. And I think they're going to really show us truly what real prison reform is and what prison reform looks like. Because I don't believe that Gypsy Rose gives us a good perception of prison reform. And that also might be part of the reason why a lot of people are a little bit hesitant about the Menendez brothers getting out, because of the fact that they have not given prison reform a good look, or Gypsy Rose hasn't. So we really have to kind of pay attention to the differences between them because they're very vast. And even on the witness, on the stand when they spoke, they cried multiple times. You could see the emotion. Compare that to Gypsy. Her statements were nothing like that. She didn't have a tear to shed. Gypsy didn't give a damn. One of the main things I want to drive home is the fact that Gypsy Rose made this statement instead of taking accountability and saying, you know what, I messed up and the public took me for what I showed them. No, they are the problem. They built me up and they took me down. No, it was you that caused everyone to feel this way. And that is very, very, very important for people to know and for Gypsy Rose to know. But Gypsy Rose is too much of a narcissist to be able to even comprehend that, because taking accountability doesn't matter to her. And even up to last week, Gypsy said she really knew nothing about this case and she didn't know enough to even speak on it. Now she feels as though she can compare herself to them and say, be careful, because they're going to build you up and take you down. Do you guys not see a problem with that? That should show you guys everything you need to know. Because the fact that she felt like she could come on and say something like this and not knowing anything, because she did say that. And let's spin the block on that clip just so we can confirm that.
It's one of the biggest stories in the world right now, the Menendez brothers. Have you been following that at all, or?
Not a whole lot. I'm not very educated in their case or anything.
So they went to prison for murdering their parents. And nobody denies that they did it, but it's coming out and it's pretty credible. A lot of people feel that they were abused by their parents. So now the DA is reviewing their case and they're possibly going to get released. And I kind of wanted your opinion on that.
Okay, well, I mean, I really can't speak on the specifics of that case. I'm not really educated in that case. But I will say that I'm an advocate for abuse victims in general, and I'm all about prison reform.
So if that happened, though, if their parents did abuse them, I mean, do you support their release, you think?
I don't think either of us are educated enough on the subject to be able to agree.
Sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with Ken. You know, I think that, you know, if there are cases being reviewed, then, you know, hopefully something can be done. You know, I think that, you know, abuse victims need to be advocated for more.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian actually supported that, and she defended that, and you know she's supporting their release. I think she's gotten some serious pushback. You know, you don't think that that's fair at all? And
I mean, Kim is
Hard
a
to
wise
say.
woman. Kim is a wise woman.
She is.
She makes good decisions.
She
I think
is.
in her prison reform era, I think she's doing good in that era.
what advice would you have for them? Very simple. They spent 30 years in prison. What advice would you have for them when they get out? You know, you dealt with it obviously.
It's very difficult to come out to a world that has changed so much, even in the time that I spent. So, I mean, reacclimating is a difficult thing. So I would say take your time and, you know, adjust properly and get therapy because you'll need it in
Get
this
therapy.
world day and age.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
If you notice, not one time did she say when they get out or if they get out that they need to make good decisions. They need to be careful about how they do things. They need to be conscious and remember where they came from or take any accountability of the fact that they all committed a crime, and coming out into society, you need to deal with people, the situation, and learn from your mistakes. Not one time. She said, get therapy. Now, I'm not against therapy. I think everyone needs therapy, but I think she should have taken a lot more accountability, even if she was going to say, I don't know much on this situation, but I know one thing is that you take accountability for your actions. That would have been respectable, and I think I would have looked at this, and the public would have looked at this very different. What are your thoughts? Drop down below if you think that Gypsy should be out and the Menendez brothers, or Gypsy should be in prison and the Menendez brothers out. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you guys for watching if you're watching this far. I'm going to post my backup page on TikTok here. Just follow. Bye-bye for now.